皆様、本日はお忙しい中、イスラエル鉄道関連ウェビナーへお越しいただきまして、誠にありがとうございます。司会進行役のイスラエル大使館経済部、トラと申します。本日はどうぞよろしくお願いいたします。開始までですね、あと2分ほどお時間をいただきたく思います。まず、本ウェビナー開始前に2点お願いがございます。本日は同時通訳をご用意しております。画面下、地球マークのアイコンよりチャンネルをご選択いただきますようよろしくお願いいたします。次に、登壇者へのご質問は Q&A のコラムに記載いただきますようよろしくお願いいたします。もしくは、ウェビナー後、弊部宛てまでメールにてお送りいただけましたら幸いです。本ウェビナーでは、一般社団法人海外投資情報財団及び日本イスラエルイノベーションネットワークの協力のもと、前半ではイスラエルにおけます鉄道プロジェクトの概要と今後の方向性について、また後半ではイスラエル鉄道技術関連企業をご紹介させていただきます。それでは開催にあたりまして、ギラッド後編駐日イスラエル大使よりご挨拶申し上げます。
Thank you very much, Haruka-san. Konnichiwa. Hajimemashite. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Israel Taishi Cohen desu. First of all, at the outset, I would like to congratulate and acknowledge the organizers of this very interesting and important seminar. First of all, the Embassy's Economic and Trade Mission were the organizers, headed by Daniel-san, the Economic Attaché, Daniel Kolber, with the support of High Speed Railway Association and leadership. I want to mention Shukuri-san and his team, the Japanese Ministry of Transportation, Railway Bureau, Hori-san and his team, Japan Overseas Railway System Association, Yoshida-san and Miyazaki-san. I want to acknowledge also the Japan Institute for Overseas Investment, Hayashi-san, and of course to all the Israeli speakers today from the Ministry of Transportation in Israel, Neta, and the Israeli startups, and everybody around this Zoom. I want to focus on several things. The first thing is the Israeli relations with Japan. I think that it's safe to say that the relations today are at their peak. I call it the sakura of the relations, the cherry blossom of the relations. You can see it in everything that we touch upon. We can see it in the political arena. We can see it in defense. You can see it in economy, strategic partnership that we are going to sign soon, bilateral visits. Only recently, the Minister of Economy of Japan came to Israel, and now Minister Barkat, Minister of Economy from Israel, will come to Japan next month. The Minister of METI came heading 100 companies from Japan, and I can tell you that it's also in science and health, a working holiday visa which we have signed, and it's going to be operational, which will enable 200 youngsters every year from Japan to Israel, and Israel is to Japan to come and work and enjoy. Even space, I was invited by the JAXA, the Japanese Space Agency, for a launch of a rocket to the moon. And I think it is a reflection of all fields that we are working together. Let's focus on economy. The Japanese investment in Israel are really enormous in automotive, in pharmaceutical, in cyber, in fintech. Today, we have over 90 Japanese companies which opened an R&D offices and laboratories of innovation in Israel. 17% of all total investments, FDI, in the Israeli high tech are Japanese. It's just, you can see it's rising up and up. And we have signed an agreement on investment. It's called in 2017. It's called the Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement. which will keep the investments in Israel, transparent, equal, comfortable, easy, and stable, and which is very, very good. And you can see how the Japanese companies and Japanese market and ministries are investing in Israel, high tech and other things. Now, I mentioned the cyber and fintech and others, but I didn't mention infrastructure. I think this is not enough. And I don't see enough Japanese companies come to Israel and invest in infrastructure. Infrastructure, I mean several things, energy and others, but also, of course, transportation. I want to say something about it. When I talk about strategic partnership between Japan and Israel, and I'm saying you as an official representative of the government of Israel, and I call to the Japanese companies that which are here, come to invest in Israel in infrastructure. Now, a country that calls for a like-minded country like Japan to come to our infrastructure, the most sensitive things and areas that a country has, I want to reflect to you how much Israel is looking at Japan as a partner, as a like-minded, as a country that we can rely on and we can trust. And this is very, very important, because I think that when you give and you call for Japanese companies to take the bids of infrastructure and on transportation in this way, but it's also energy and water or other areas, it means that we can collaborate and we can trust Japan. And we call you to come and take the bids and to look into this interesting phenomena, an interesting time now in Israel. Israel now is facing a transition period of investing more and more, a huge investment in transportation. I think the last years we've passed, now that there is now a procedure of passing a law, it's called the Metro Law in Israel. There are billions, dozens of billions of shekels and also dollars that are going to be invested and already invested until now. We've just inaugurated the Red Line in Israel, in the subway and the transportation of the most crowded area of Israel, the Dan area we call it, but also other outside of the center of Israel, Tel Aviv area, to other places in Israel. We would like, the vision is to connect Israel from up north to the south, to the center, inside the center, and there's going to be a lot of investments in transportation. Now, I have met some of the companies, the Japanese companies here. I've tried the Shinkansen here. I think, I enjoy so much the transportation of Japan. I don't mind flattering you, but I think it's the most advanced and easy and comfortable railway transportation infrastructure that we have in the world. If somebody's from Israel went in the Shinkansen, you can understand what I'm saying about a bullet train that is so comfortable and so good and so frequent that it's really, really something that I recommend. My dream is to see the Shinkansen or something alike, or this bullet train to come to Israel. I know that this is also by our leadership, the politician. It also has the political, and of course, after me, there will be the official representative Minister of Transportation. But I've been asked before by Japanese companies, would you give us not only the bids, the bids between companies, or to see, and to check, but also if there is a political support for it. And I can assure you, based on my talks to Minister of Transportation and Prime Minister Office, that there is a will. It was also publicly in Israel that Israel leadership is committed to it and wanting to have the Japanese companies and others, of course, coming to the railway infrastructure in Israel. I just want to say other thing about the vision. It's not only in Israel. Israel is going to be connected to the Middle East. President Biden met Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday, and he said in New York that this is a big deal, the India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor, which will connect India and then Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and then Europe. I think that this is the future. The future is here, and I think Japan and Israel can join hands, and Japan should come and to look into these kind of interesting things that are happening. because the infrastructure that Japan has is something that Israel can learn. Of course, we can offer cyber, we can offer high-tech, we can offer innovation that Israel is very good at, but we have to learn a lot and to absorb from the technology of Japan, from the industrial might of Japan, and the wisdom that you have here, and how you build something that Israel can only be envy with, your transportation infrastructure. We have just marked 3 years just last week for Abraham Accords. Just now, I saw Minister of Foreign Affairs meeting his counterpart, Abdallah bin Zayed, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Emirates. And I think this is a new atmosphere in the Middle East. The peace has come to the like-minded countries, to the partners in the Middle East. And I think Japan should be there and should cooperate with us and should invest and look into this kind of projects that might be very, very interesting. And I call you to look and to take these bids, to look into them and to check together with the professionals in Israel on how we can go forward. Well, as you see, I'm very excited about this thing because I do see in my vision, and I think that there is a lot of resources now in Israel that the government and the parliament, the Israeli Knesset, is allocating for this mission. And this is very, very important because we are wasting a lot of time now in traffic jams in Israel because of infrastructure that was back for the Ottoman ruling Israel 100 years ago. But now I think things are changing very, very fast, and we can see that there are the solutions for transportation are going very fast and very rapidly in Israel. And I think that Japan and Israel can do a lot of things together. I just want to sum up and to, of course, open this very good and important seminar by thank you, and by thank you all for this. And again, showing that this kind of cooperation, collaboration is a potential to shape a more sustainable future, both for Israel and Japan. Together, we can make a significant impact in our urban landscapes, and I hope all of you will find this webinar informative and inspiring. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Toda rabba.
Thank you, Ambassador. それでは第1部へと参ります。まずはじめにイスラエル交通省交通インフラ整備部部長ヤイール・エレズ氏よりイスラエル国内鉄道事業の大枠から高速鉄道及び在来線メトロ事業の今後の方向性についてご報告申し上げます。ヤイールさん、お願いします。
Good morning, everyone. Like Haruka mentioned, I'm Yair Erez. I'm the head of the Metro team in the Metro Authority at the Ministry of Transportation. I will show you in the upcoming minutes our plans in the upcoming decade or two in the Israeli government about the infrastructure of transportation. So first, I want to show you like what's going on in Israel the last decade and the upcoming years. As we can see, there is a huge investment gap in public transportation infrastructure between Israel and developed countries in the OECD. The Israeli government already took a few decisions, in order to invest a lot of more billion of shekels to mind that gap and to be able to connect an infrastructure of transportation more suitable for a country of the OECD. The travel distance per capita in Israel 3 times more than the OECD average. It costs lots of the GDP of Israel. And in the recent decades, the annual population growth is around 2%. So the population continues to grow, and you need to invest more and more in public transportation. The government of Israel works with a few companies who are government-owned, fully budgeted by the government. So if you see tenders going on by these companies, you know it's a government project and fully budgeted by the government. And it's Netivei Israel. We're doing project on railway roads and also regular roads. Moria, Netivei Ayalon, Israel Railways Company, NTA, will be building the metro project and the LRT project in the Gush Dan area, and a Trans Israel company. The last decade, we invested around 100 billion shekels in LRT project in the Jerusalem district, in the Tel Aviv district, and also up north between Haifa and Nazareth. And in the upcoming decade, I will show you the project we're going to be happening in the upcoming decades. So the biggest project we are now working on and working, going pretty fast, and like Ambassador Gilad Cohen already said, we passed a unique law for this project. The metro project will be all over Gush Dan. We plan to build 3 new metro lines, fully underground, 150 kilometers of underground network. My colleagues from Neta company will talk later more about this project. Other metro lines that we already started to plan, and additional 2 lines of underground metro around Tel Aviv district in the Gush Dan area. Another 2 underground metro lines will be connected to the other LRT lines in Jerusalem district, and a metro line or maybe LRT line going between Jerusalem and to the suburb of Bet Shemesh. And this project, our initial planning. And another thing that Ambassador Cohen talked about is the Middle East Railway Linking Project, what President Biden talked about. So here on the right side, you can see that we already have a train road going between Haifa and Bet Shean. This is the border between Israel and Jordan. We already approved a plan for another 2 kilometers of railway road between Bet Shean to the border with Jordan. And this is something we will need to be built in the upcoming years. And there's another statutory plan going on between Haifa and underground tunnel for railway to go for carriage to the Haifa port around here to connect between Israel and Jordan. And the other thing will be to have to redo the train road between in Jordan that is not really suit to the what's going on in Saudi Arabia and the Emirates and also in Israel. Jordanian will need to have a big investment in order to establish that. But this plan's already been planned and statutory design in the upcoming in the last years, and already budget to be built in the upcoming years. And you are more than welcome to participate in these projects. Another project we have is a big project that the Minister of Transportation, Miri Regev, talking about, is to connect Israel in a fast train between the north and the south, between Kiryat Shmona and Elat. So we have a train set and a train railroads going on north and south, not all the way to the north, not all the way to the south. What we are planning to do is to double the tracks. You have a high-speed track, and next to it a suburban tracks. So it's included to a few different projects. And so first of them, we're talking in the center to add another underground high-speed tracks in the center of Israel and the island corridor between around Herzliya to the airport in Atbag. Today there is between 3 or 4 tracks going on there, but they're not high-speed tracks. So there is a plan, a statutory plan already, and we estimated in $8 billion, fully underground, 2 high-speed tracks going on. You see that the yellow line over here on the map. And another project already fully budget, and we'll be starting the detailed design now, is 2 high-speed tracks, not underground, it's over the ground. 2 high-speed tracks between Haifa and Tel Aviv. We connect to the other 2 high-speed tracks that are planned in around Tel Aviv, the tunnels one. And this one is already fully budget, and as I said, we're starting the detailed design now. We'll be able to have 250 kilometers tracks, trains going on from Haifa to Tel Aviv. Another project, or in the end of statutory plan now, is another 2 high-speed tracks between Beersheba and Tel Aviv, going from Tel Aviv to the south, Beersheba in the south, and another 2 high-speed tracks between Carmiel and Kiryat Shmona. So as you can see, we have a lot of high-speed tracks that we are building around our railroad networks in order to go from a southern network of railroads going between 80 and 160 km/h trains to have a network of 250 high-speed tracks going on from south to north to south. Another project that is part of this whole project is along a high-speed track between Beersheba to Elat in the border with Iraq, and the Suez next to the Suez Canal. This also can be used for not only for transportation of passengers, also for cargo. It's a huge project. We estimated it around $10 billion, and we need to build 2 high-speed tracks going all that road. We are starting the statutory design, in the middle of statutory design now. And this project is a huge deal for us. Also for the cargo industry going on from the eastern part of the world, to the Middle East and to Europe. And we'll be very happy to see your knowledge and your experience in this kind of project here in Israel. Another project connected to that is to move the trains in Haifa area and Haifa port to be underground. Now they have overground tracks, and we need to move it underground beneath Haifa, and already statutory design, and the extension of the line in Jerusalem, and to add another underground line and 2 underground stations in Jerusalem. This is $1.5 billion. And this is pretty much the biggest project we're talking about. I will be more than happy to want to have another meeting or have another questions about other projects. We'll be happy to hear from you guys. Thank you.
ヤイルさん、ありがとうございました。続きまして、イスラエル国内における MRT 開発を担うメトロポリタンマストランジットシステムより、ケレン・カッツ氏及びギラッド・フォックス氏が地下鉄プロジェクトの全体像及び入札を含む今後の方向性につきましてご報告申し上げます。ケレンさん、ギラッドさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen Katz. I'm from NTA Company. NTA is a company that owned to the government in charge of design, construct, and operate the mass transit network of 3 LRT lines and 3 metro lines for the Tel Aviv metropolitan area. This is the largest and the most complex transportation project to be carried out in Israel. Our capital city is Jerusalem, but the business and the financial and the cultural center is in Tel Aviv metropolitan area. 44% of the residents in Israel live in Tel Aviv metropolitan. 50% of the jobs are in Tel Aviv, and also 62% of the business product is in Tel Aviv metropolitan area. The average growth rate in Israel is 2% a year. So according to the forecast, the population of Israel is expecting to grow from 4 million inhabitants to 5.4 million inhabitants in 2040, without a significant increase in the capacity of the transportation system. The increase in the population and density will be reflected in the significant decrease in the quality of life. So, as you saw, and Yair spoke already before, NTA is promoting 3 metro lines in the Tel Aviv metropolitan area. The total length of the lines is 150 kilometers with 109 underground stations. These lines will run from the outer ring of the metropolitan area to the center and will serve millions of passengers per day. The network includes 4 depots complex and designed to support the network. The main purpose to establish a mass transit system that links commuters town to the center of Tel Aviv metropolitan area and its major business centers quickly and conveniently to connect the resident neighborhood with workplaces with a light rail, heavy rail, and other public transportation. And now let's introduce you to the lines. So M1 is a radial line connecting to the northern and the southern municipalities to the center of Tel Aviv. The line serves as a backbone of the metro network on which entire network based. M1 is longest line in the network and include 85 kilometers, passed through 14 local authorities and includes 62 underground stations. The line includes 2 depots, one in the north, here in the north, near Kfar Saba, and in the south, near Rishonim. M2 is a radial line connecting the eastern region of the metropolis to the center and the southern city of Tel Aviv. The construction of the line and the station include an engineering challenge because of it crossed dense cities of Tel Aviv metropolis. The line includes 25 kilometers long, passed through 8 local authorities, and include 22 underground stations. The line includes 1 depot in the circling industrial area near the city of Petah Tikva, here in the end. M3 is a half-ring line connecting all the network line, providing accessibility and connectivity to significant employment centers on the metropolitan inner ring border. The line is 39 kilometers long, passes through 13 local authorities and include 25 underground stations. The line includes 1 depot in Mesubim area. The commercial operation is planned for 2034. And the estimated cost for the total network is around $43 billion. The economic benefit of each year of operation is approximately $8.5 billion. The network supports to serve 2 million passengers daily in 2040, and it will increase in Tel Aviv metropolitan area transit travel share by 30%. NTA carried out a preliminary design of 7 transportation hubs. The main purpose of this hub is to create effective connectivity between metro line, light rail, Israelway, and buses. Other benefits of these hubs related to enhancing accessibility between the hub and the urban places, thus improving the urban environments. Another project NTA is carried out is a preliminary examination of integrated design of a metro station and building. And now I will pass the presentation to Gilad Fuchs.
Thank you, Karen. I will take it from here. I'm Gilad Fuchs. I'm responsible for the system technologies and also the rolling stock for this huge metro project. We are now in Neta form a management structures which include our partner as a network manager. It's a French company that won the tender about 2 years ago. And the first tender that the next tender that we are going to initiate is the performance monitoring services in green here that will be published very soon in the first quarter of the next year. Other than that, we have 3 more line managers representing here in blue boxes. Those line managers lately won the tender to run the design and the management of the project. They will start work with NTA very soon in about a few months, and they will help NTA as a wing to manage this project. Other than that, we have another hubs designers and managers. Here is a purple box that we already work with those teams, but this is still on a statutory phase. Next, please, Karen. Because this project is so huge, NETA decided to split the scope to two sub-stages. Stage A will be, here marked in yellow, will be in the central ring of the metropolitan. And it's about 75 kilometers and includes 58 stations, and the estimation is about 80 billion shekels. This stage will start operation in 2034, gradually and completed until 2037. And this stage, stage A, is the stage that we are now start to have to promote it and to have detailed design, and also very soon to publish the tenders that we will see next. Stage B is the outer of the metropolitan, meaning it's inside the metropolitan, but in the suburban of the metropolitan, next to Ra'anana, Kfar Saba on the north, and Rehovot, Ramle, Lod, Nes Ziona in the south. And this stage, we will promote it later on in few years. Next, please. So last but very important message for the Japanese industry. We have three tenders going next. First one is the performance monitoring service that will publish very soon. In 2025, we're gonna publish about 15 different tenders. Each one, we call it Infra 1, Infrastructure 1. Each tender will, the scope will include between 5 to 8 kilometers of double twin TBM mining, 7.5 meter diameter, and also the station outer box. Each tender like this will be will worth about at least $5 billion. So it's a very big tenders. We encourage you, the Japanese market, to form some key joint venture in Israel, to find the local partners in Israel, because we still need some local company in Israel to be involved in all the utilities infrastructures and other third party that we still need a local. But the TBM work will be surely by an international company. Regarding the blue box here, the light blue, we call it Infra 2. These are the systems, rolling stock signaling, the fit out of the stations, and works inside the depot like depot equipment. We will publish two big tenders, turnkey tenders, which will include all the scope together. I mean, system, rolling stock, signaling, fit out, and everything together. And it will not be split to a lot of procurement packages. Therefore, again, I am encourage you to form such JV internally in Japan between the parties and the industries in Japan, because we know to form a turnkey joint venture, it's need a lot of efforts from the market also, not just from our side, the governmental company. But still, there is a time we're gonna publish this tender in late 26, maybe early 27. So it's enough time for you, the market, to form such a joint venture, which can include all the scope in order to build this massive project. I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to present our project. Thank you.
ケレンさん、ギラッドさん、ありがとうございました。ここで皆様にリマインダーです。ご質問がある方は、Zoom の、下にあります Q&A の 欄より各企業へお送りいただけます。And this is just a reminder for each presenter for the next section that from now on you have 9 minutes for your presentation. Thank you. では、これより第2部イスラエル企業3社のご紹介へと参りたいと思います。まずは鉄道サイバー領域のサーベロ社よりイスラエル・バロンさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
Hello, everybody. My name is Israel Baron. I'm the VP for Customer Relations at Cervello. Cervello is a railway cybersecurity company that was established in 2019, almost 5 years ago. And to be honest, it was one of the first pioneers in railway cybersecurity because back then there were no other solutions to be found. All of us are coming from the Ministry of Defense, IDF, Special Forces, and some of us are from A200 unit and other elite technological unit in the IDF. We are involved in a lot of working groups around the world. Some of them are going to write the next generation of standards for railway cybersecurity, such as the IEC 63452. So we represent the state of Israel in those groups. And we are the first in the world to implement our cybersecurity solution in a national level in one of the countries in Europe. We are already installed since then in other countries, in the US, Europe, and in APAC. On top of that, we are also trusted by many partners. We usually work through partners because we are a small company from Tel Aviv, so we trust on our partners to implement our solution together with us at the client site. We are working with some of the biggest OEMs in the industry. One of them is Thales. Thales has already implemented our solution into its next generation of signaling systems. And the challenge is that, the railway systems, the railway equipment in most of the countries were designed and established many years ago, 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. You can see it everywhere in Israel, in Europe, everywhere around the world. And even though this equipment, the signaling network especially, was designed with safety in mind, it was not designed with cybersecurity threat in mind, which means that it cannot be protected adequately against cyber threats. And we see it all the time. Every month, every year, we see it on the news. And by the way, it's only the tip of the ice because in most cases, railway companies are government-owned, meaning that they cannot publish that they were cyber attacked. But we do see it everywhere. Those are old systems, and even though they are maybe advanced technological, with cybersecurity, anybody can penetrate them, and we did it a lot of times. We hacked, of course, with permit, like in a lab. We helped to investigate signaling networks and signaling systems by attacking them and showing how easy it is to penetrate them. And this is where our platform comes into play, because what we designed is a cybersecurity solution that is designed specifically for rail, whether it's freight, whether it's passenger, tram, whatever, everything that moves on track, we can monitor it. And not only that, because we are built for the railway industry, we give you the actionable items that you can use when you have a cyber attack. We also gather information from IT, OT, IoT, across the board, meaning that we can monitor your security camera, we can monitor your ticketing system, we can monitor your passenger information system, and we can monitor your signaling infrastructure from the asset on the wayside unit to the rolling stock. Everything into one place. And because we are not a regular intrusion detection system, we are not a regular cybersecurity solution, because we were designed for the railway industry, we can give you step-by-step instruction what you need to do. Because in the end, for a railway company, a normal intrusion detection system will tell them, you have an attack on this network switch. Okay, what can they do with it? How does it affect their operation? We give you the information that you can use instantly to, for example, know that those lines are jeopardized. For example, that this rolling stock, this railway car needs to be stopped immediately. This is the kind of information that we can provide. So the ecosystem of the railway, it's not complex, but it's huge. Okay, you have a lot of layers on top of layers. You have the operational control and maintenance layer, where you will find systems like the TMS, the traffic management system, and the network management systems, and the passenger information system. Then you will go to the infrastructure layer where you will have the interlocking, the tunnel, the bridges, the RBC, the radio block center. The next layer is the trackside units. And then you will have the onboard. And as we know, the onboard today is like a mainframe on wheels. It's very advanced. You will have passenger infotainment systems. You will have controllers controlling the brakes, the doors, the air condition, everything. So if you want a good cybersecurity mitigation tool, you will have to use something like we provide, because what we'll give you is one dashboard that can take log and information and data all across those layers from each and every one of those systems. And this is the only system in the world currently that can do such a thing. We can monitor everything in the ecosystems of railway into one place and give you actionable items when a cyber attack occurs. So why to choose us? So, like I mentioned, first and foremost, we give railway operational impact, okay? We don't just raise a flag and tell you, you have a problem. We take it into the railway language. We tell you exactly what system, what crossing, what station is affected, what is the operational consequence of this attack. Next thing is we give cross-environment context, meaning that we can monitor from your CCTV through your rolling stock to the signaling network and the IT and the OT into one centralized place, one centralized dashboard. And we give you deep understanding of the threats landscape, because we have an amazing research team that searches all the time for 0 days in railway equipment, and we integrate this unique information that you cannot find anywhere else into our platform, meaning that even if the attackers And I want to remind you that we are dealing with nation-state level attackers, even if the attackers will try to use 0 days that they developed specifically for railways, we can find out about it. So with that, I would like to thank you. I'm very excited to be here with you today. You can reach out to me, to us directly, to ask anything you like. Currently, we don't have any business in Japan. Okay, so it will be amazing to take it forward, maybe make a proof of value, demonstrate the system to you, show with you some of our clients' success stories. So we are completely available at your disposal. And again, thank you for allowing me to present Cervello to you.
イスラエルさん、ありがとうございました。次に、障害物検知の領域、レールビジョン社より、オフィール・グリサロさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Ofer Grisaro. I'm the VP Sales and Marketing at RailVision. I will start my presentation with a short video, but before that, I would like to say a word about what we are doing. RailVision has developed obstacle detection for trains, for passenger, for shunting yard and freight, meaning that we have sensors on top of the locomotive. Together with artificial intelligence, we detect and classify obstacles that are on and off the tracks. I will share my screen and I would like to show you a short video. And later on, we can continue to the presentation. Please.
You hear that? That's a wonderful sound. But what happens when you stop hearing it? Every time a train stops unexpectedly, you lose time and money. Imagine a world where artificial intelligence helps locomotive drivers see further, think brighter, and act faster, ultimately preventing the next train accident. Introducing RailVision, instilling confidence in every move, journey, cargo, and passenger. RailVision's main line and shunting yard systems offer both clever design and effortless operation, enhancing drivers' point of view. Our innovative electro-optical AI-based systems helps drivers see 2 kilometers ahead, day and night, in diverse weather conditions, on and off the tracks, generating immediate visual and acoustic alerts for potential hazards. Detect, classify, and alert. Innovative technology equals safer railways. Make sure your operation stays on track. RailVision, always keeping you on track.
Thank you. So a few words about RailVision. RailVision is an Israeli-based company founded in 2016, and our focus is the railway industry. As you could see in the movie, what we are doing, and our technology was designed specifically to meet the railway industry challenges, which are very different from the automotive usually challenges. We use electro-optics, advanced electro-optic sensors, as you could see in the movie, together with deep learning and artificial intelligence. We give the driver alerts on and off the track to see whether there is something that might be jeopardize the train. We have an important strategic partner, a German company called Knorr Bremse. They also have local subsidiary in Japan. They are our largest investor and also strategic partner. As you could see in the movie, we have two systems. One is the mainline system for passenger and freight application, and the second is shunting yard system for shunting operation. The mainline system, as you could see, it's a system that is designed for passenger and freight trains. It can see up to 2 kilometers ahead during day and night diverse weather conditions due to the unique sensors that we have in the system. Once I will talk, usually the configuration is that we have the sensor unit on top of the locomotive. We have inside the cabin the computing unit and the power unit and a display for the driver. The system is standalone, meaning that it's not requiring network connectivity to operate, but once there is network connectivity, the system can send all the alerts to the command and control, so any one of you can sit in the office and see all the alerts and the tracks that along the route of the train. The shunting yard system is basically working on the same principle, but not that since shunting operation does not require to see much farther away like the main line, the visual range is 200 meters, and also it looks a little bit different, also as several sensors that can see during day and night and diverse weather conditions. Both of the systems is visual sensors together with infrared sensors that can see during day and night and in diverse weather conditions. The shunting yard system also has a coupling camera. The coupling camera look, let's say, in range 0, where the driver is practically blind and cannot see. The configuration of the shunting yard system is very similar to the main line, but since it's shunting operation and usually shunting locomotives drive both directions, so we have two sensor units, one on each side of the locomotive, of course computing and power unit, and a display for the driver. Some of the projects we've done so far, some of them that we already are in pilot phases, some as projects. So we can start with Israel Railways. About 6 months ago, RailVision signed a contract with Israel Railways to supply 10 mainline systems that will be installed later this year. These systems will be installed on freight and passenger trains that will travel around Israel. We also have done a project with Rio Tinto in Australia, the largest mining company in the world. Also, with the shunting yard system, we installed and operate with SBB Cargo in Switzerland, and we also have some operations in the US. To summarize my presentation, as you all understand and familiar, train accidents has a lot of consequences, mainly about losing life, but also about losing money due to business continuity that is compromised. You need to fix the trains, you need to fix the tracks, and many other variants. So using our systems, you can assure business continuity, you can reduce operational expenses, and of course, improve safety. Once you can prevent train accidents, you can increase your operational efficiency and enhance customer experience and satisfaction. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. We will be more than happy to respond to any questions that may arise now or later on. Thank you.
フィールさん、ありがとうございました。続いて最後になります。 地盤リスクマネジメント領域のEXODIGO社よりタミール・コーヘンさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
Hi everyone. Just having some problems with the video. 1 second. Okay, I guess you can see me now.
Yes, we can see you now.
All right, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. I'll just start to share my presentation. I want to thank everyone that's on this call, namely Kenji-san and all of the representatives from Japan that are here. It's for me, it's an honor, but it's a dual honor because in my background, I was in the Israeli Ministry of Finance, the Treasury, and I was one of the first persons who initiated the Metro project. So it's very happy to be here. So EXODIGO. We are only 2 years old. We were founded in June 2021. And something unique about us is that we deal 24/7 and we try to solve the underground problem. When we say the underground problems, of course, there are many use cases, but namely to know what's underground, utilities, geotechnical, everything. A little bit about the company. We raised a very big seed round. And you'll see we need a lot of money for our R&D. We currently are 100 people, a little bit over 100 people, located in Israel, in the US, in France, and in the UK. And we're currently working with 20 marquee logos. One of our investors is a strategic investor that comes from the industry, National Grid, which is one of the biggest energy companies. And we won some award like Times Best Magazine, one of the Times Best Magazine investment of 2022 and others. So what do? The problem, as you all know, because you are in this industry for a very long time, 1 second, is that all over the world, no one knows what's underground. And the cost of one unknown utility can be very severe. And the repercussions, or let's say the malfunctions that stem out of it are very severe. Of course, namely cost and time, but also safety and carbon footprint. And in the end, the mega projects, which are located within cities, they cause a lot of trouble for the public. So if we miss one utility, the repercussions are very severe. So what we try to do is to prevent those utility strikes, to avoid change order and redesigns, and to lower the carbon footprint of every mega project in the world. So today, if you want to see what's underground, and this is correct in every state in the world, for every project, the process of knowing what's underground is very, I'll call it very traditional, with literally no technology whatsoever. The first step is acquiring a map. This step can take 3 to 6 months, and in the end of the process, you receive a map which is inaccurate. Then you don't use any technology. There are very experienced engineers or digging or potholing that go and follow a line that they saw on the wrong map. And in the end, this is the technology on the right side. This is how the technology in our age looks when you want to find utilities underground. We draw on the roads. And because of this, in each site, on average, status quo locators, surveyors miss almost 50% of the utilities. And the repercussions are very severe. We do something else. We do not assume anything. We do not find what's underground based on a map or on human errors. We use physics. What we do, we take all of the families of the sensors, of the physical sensors that are available in the world, and we combine them together, and via AI and multi-sensor fusion, we produce a digital map. But this is a lot of, very nice words, AI and multi-sensor fusions. You can't really understand what we do. So the best analogy is to imagine this. We literally do MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray all together to the underground in parallel, but not only for the knee or for the elbow, but on all of the body. This is the best analogy. And how it looks in real-life project. What is the life cycle of EXODIGO scanning the underground? It looks like this. The first thing, we take the physics. We take all of the sensors, and I'll double-click on why it's important to take the different sensors. We put them on one of our proprietary platforms that we built, either a cart for urban areas or a drone for rural and open areas. And we go on a site. By the way, this site is Crenshaw Boulevard in LA, which we performed an underground scan for LA Metro, the Transportation Authority, for building a new LRT line. So we take our platforms, and then we scan every centimeter of the site in a snake path pattern. In this manner, we gather data from every centimeter of the site. So we do not have to rely on maps or assume or follow a line that we saw on a map. We just listen to the physics. We add every available record from online or that we receive from the client, and we combine all the visual sensor, because what's the rationale? The rationale is to get every piece of data that can help us solve a site. We combine all of this data via our automation and our softwares, and we produce a digital map in any format that our client wants. And we'll double click on it in a bit. But so this is a short video that shows the process from A to Z. This site is of PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. It's the electricity company of California. And we performed an underground utility scan here. This project, they connected every house to a gas line, and they needed to know a lot of utilities because they need to connect it to a lot of our homes. So it's a very complex project. You before saw the scan and everything. Now you can see a little bit of the background of the AI and the automations. We have a data set of over 50,000 utilities all over the world, and we give a grade to every utility that we found, depending on the sensor that found it, and then we grade it with a certainty level that we have, and we produce the digital map. You'll see it in a second. And in the end, you get geolocated underground map of the site that found, on average, double the utilities than any status quo locator. And of course, it's integrated in any format, AutoCAD, whichever our client requests. Okay, so until now we were talking about inputs. The output is that in average we identified 2x utilities more than any solution. This site is we're in a metro seminar with Neta. This is an LRT site in Tel Aviv, the Green Line LRT, which we performed a QA scan for Neta. You can see in green That's the right of way of where the rail is supposed to be built by the contractor. And this site is after that NETA did utility relocation and potholing, and we came and we scanned the site for Q&A, and we showed that on the ESMAIDs, the current ESMAIDs, they have post-utility relocation. They were missing 9 out of 16 utilities just on this site. The team redesigned it very quickly and avoid a cost and delay. But this is just one example. Our product looks a little bit different than the regular utility identification map. And what's unique about it is that we do not only find the utilities, because the fact that we scan all of the site, we give also green zones. Green zones are zones in the sites where we say that they are utility free. So those are very important for both the design phase and the execution phase, when you need to know not only where the utilities, but where you can excavate, where you can do a very quick redesign and prevent a cost. I'll pass this, you know. So aside from the regular 2D maps, we give other formats. Our maps are available in a 3D or BIM, and we also have an integration for an augmented reality feature that helps the project manager or the engineer to receive the map that we provide, not only in the office but on site. So you can see just that the human passed by. This is another site of NETA, Purple Line extension in Givat Shmuel in the center of Tel Aviv. So we are commercially operating in Israel, in the US, in UK, and France. We still don't have any operations in the Far East, just for because that we are trying to be lean and to focus on our resources. But Japan is definitely a country that we're looking forward to engage with and we admire. So in the last 2 years, we were able to scale both in Israel and in the States and in the UK, working with or within our 2 main verticals. The first one is transportation, and working with a lot of transit agencies in the USA, also working in the UK with on the biggest projects such as HS2 or EWR, East West Rail, and other sites. And aside from utility detection, we also are developing our second product, which is archaeologies and all of the geophysics of the underground, voids and graves and bedrock. We call it GI, ground investigation. And we are starting to add different sub-products of the underground together with the utility product. On the right side, there is an example from an LRT project we performed for the Jerusalem Transportation Master Plan in the Blue Line LRT, where we provided a map that was combined with utilities and graves, because our approach is that the utilities are the backbone of every site. So when we provide additional information on graves or on voids or on sinkholes, we also have to provide the utilities, because then the project manager or the engineer has full information. He can perform anything he wants on that site. So we're starting to be commercial or move commercially with this product as well. And we did a bunch of projects.
Sorry to interrupt. Could you please try to wrap up, please?
Yep, we just finished, and that's it. Thank you very much for your time. I'm very happy to be here, and looking forward to take this forward.
カミールさん、ありがとうございました。それではこれよりヘイブ代表ダニエル・コルバー経済講師より閉会のご挨拶を申し上げます。ダニエルさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you, Haruka-san. So, こんにちは。皆さん、こんにちは。ダニエルです。よろしくお願いします。It's a pleasure to have offered this opportunity to bring information regarding projects, infrastructure, train projects from Israel to the Japanese companies and entities. We hope you enjoyed the webinar. Also fascinating presentations by 3 innovative Israeli startups in various areas related to railway. So we are very thankful to all of the speakers today from Israel and to all of our partners in making this webinar successful with the attendance of all the distinguished attendees that we have today, really coming from a very wide range of sectors, industries in Japan, very good participation. For those of you who are less familiar with us, we are the Economic and Trade Mission of Israel in Japan. So we report to Israel Ministry of Economy and Industry, like METI. We are also part of the Embassy of Israel in Japan. And with our offices in Osaka and in Tokyo, we have as an objective to promote economic collaboration between Israel and Japan and give exposure to Israeli innovation, to Israeli companies, and most importantly, to facilitate the connection between the Israeli and Japanese companies. I'd like to invite all of you after this webinar to be in touch with us, to meet with the Israeli companies and the speakers to explore further collaboration. We are here for that. And in general, I would like to once again invite you all to visit Israel, visit our beautiful little country, which is now much closer thanks to direct flight that we have. Yes, thank you for putting up some pictures to give you an idea of different areas in our country. Last but not least, I would like to thank my team. A lot of people from the team here, both in Tokyo and Osaka, worked to make this webinar. Kenji-san and Haruka-san, Umi-san and Suguru-san and Eiji-san, and we are very grateful. So we are finishing 15 minutes ahead of time, because that's how we do projects in Israel, right? We finish ahead of time. So we thank you again for your attendance, and looking forward to being in touch with you all soon. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimashita. Last but not least, sorry. Yes, with this slide, I take the opportunity to invite you to a session that we will be holding at this event that you can see right now on the screen. In November at Makuhari Messe, we'll have some time to introduce also Israeli projects in this exhibition related to railway. So we'll be there. Please come and meet us if you plan to attend. And with that, I think we have our contact information in the next slide, but we'll be sending you all an email and with further information, and would appreciate your feedback as well on this. So with that, thanks again, everyone. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。本ウェビナーは、後日、弊部ウェブサイト内、失礼いたしました。本ウェビナーは後日、弊部ウェブサイト内イベント欄にてアーカイブとしてご覧いただけます。ぜひ皆様のコンタクト先の方々へもご周知いただければと思います。また、この後、Zoom 終了後にポップアップしますアンケートへもぜひご回答いただきますようよろしくお願いいたします。 これにてウェビナーを終了とさせていただきます。本日はご清聴いただき誠にありがとうございました。